In this video, we will show you how to create a schedule for renting out things or properties, such as a holiday home. SuperSAS offers 3 different types of schedules: a resource schedule for one-on-one appointments or things to rent, a capacity schedule for group lessons or events, and a service schedule for services that use multiple resources, such as a room and a person. In this example, we need a schedule type that lets users book a specific item or place, so we'll configure a resource schedule. If you haven't done so yet, create a SuperSAS account and log in to get started. Then, on your dashboard, click New Schedule. Click Resource Schedule as the schedule type and continue to the next step. You can now choose who can make bookings or changes in your schedule. In this example, we want the schedule to be accessible for everyone, but users have to sign up to make a reservation, so we choose the second option. Now you can select how many resources you want to offer in the schedule. For our holiday home example, we offer 2 rooms. When you select the second option, an extra text field will appear for listing all the resources. We will input 2 rooms, but you can add more if you have more resources available. Your users will be able to select one of the resources in the reservation process. Enter a name for your schedule. We use Holiday Home. You can change this later, just like all settings. However, because this name will be part of the web address, it's important not to change it after you share the link with others. Now you can set up the availability of the resources on your schedule. You can set a different availability for each resource later if needed. Our holiday home will be open every day, 24 hours a day. You can use the option Default Length for a default or minimum length of each reservation that can be extended if the user wishes. In our example, the user is free to choose the length of the stay. We will also give our users the option to book at any moment of the day. That way our users will be able to have a late check-in. Click Finish to complete the schedule wizard. Congratulations! You've just set up your first basic schedule. Click Use to view the schedule you've created. The schedule is very basic at this point, so click on Configure to adapt the schedule to your needs. On the Overview tab, you find a summary of your current settings, the ability to delete or block a schedule, and the link to your schedule. Click on Resources. This tab contains the settings that define the things or spaces that you're scheduling. For instance, you can add resources or delete existing ones. You can also set a limit to the number of reservations any user can make. If you select the option, the user selects the length from a drop-down list, a new text field will appear that you can use to list standard length reservations. For this example, we'll list all possible reservations with corresponding prices. This option allows you to show standard pricing, but you can also leave out the prices. We're not covering this now, but if you want to set seasonal pricing, choose Depends on Date, Length, or Resource under the section Price. At the bottom of the page, you can set time limits, like a buffer time. The buffer time can be used to create some time between 2 reservations. This can be useful for room cleaning. For this schedule, we will round the times to the nearest whole day. You can use the text field above for setting a check-in time. Click Save Changes to go back to the overview. On the Access tab, you configure what users can see and do in your schedule. Here, you can also provide extra access rights to specific people in your team, called super users. The Process tab lets you refine the booking process. Here you can, for example, modify which information the client should enter when making a reservation. It's also possible to add an extra text field which you can customize. This can be useful if you want to offer your guests additional services. In this case, we want to offer the option to reserve a pair of towels. If you select Drop-Down Selection menu, a new text field will appear where you can add your options. On the Process tab, you can also require payment upfront, add email confirmations, or send a reminder before the booking to make sure they don't forget. The Layout tab lets you change the way your schedule looks. Change the default from weekly to monthly or daily views. and add custom messages to replace default information. Click Layout Colors to update your schedule's color settings. Choose a different theme and fine-tune it to your preference or change the color for the rooms. Let's see what the schedule looks like now. You can click a random spot in the schedule to make a reservation. If you would like to integrate your schedule into your own website, navigate to the dashboard. Select Integrations in the menu and then choose Booking widget. Now select your schedule from the drop-down menu. Then choose between integrating a button that opens a pop-up widget and a frame that is integrated into your website. We choose the option to integrate the schedule. You can now select a widget type that is best suited for your type of schedule. After selecting the widget type, follow the instructions on the page to integrate the schedule on your website. You now have a basic understanding of how to create a resource schedule to allow clients to book rooms or other things with your business. Explore more advanced features to make your schedule work exactly the way you want.